Today's class is on competency mapping. It's a very important topic. Um, can any one of you recollect and tell me what is competency? We had discussed about what is competency already in the class. I think this is just going to be a revision type of class where I'll be teaching you on mapping the competencies. Right? So we have already spoken about what is meant by competency. Tell me what is competency? Three important letters I told you to remember. No, what is that?
Job evaluation, training.
No,
Yeah, I
three
think so. That
letters.
only you told me.
No, no. Competency means what? Competency. Three important things which a human being has to possess. Competence. We need this competence for this individual to get recruited in a company. அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவோம்ல. What is that?
Qualification.
Yes. You forgot. Okay, I don't know what.
Identifying the key attributes and
Yeah.
skills.
What is that? Yeah, you're right actually. One is skills, other one is
Key attributes or position.
no skill. Then skill.
Qualification.
Yeah, very good, super. Hari is coming now. Knowledge, skill, knowledge, and attitude. Okay, SKA. I've told you no. KRA, SKA. You have to remember these three important letters. You have to remember exactly. Okay. Knowledge, skills, and attitudes. Okay. See now. What happened was like uh, the people were talking about TQM. What is that? Continuous improvement. TQM is continuous improvement, fulfilling the expectations of consumers continuously. Okay, and it involves everything, every aspect. Likewise, in HR also, we actually enforce the continuous evaluation of people's traits, their skills and knowledge. Okay, so this evolved actually in early era, like when Sigmund Freud started talking about management, and then Taylor and Ford was a pioneer in implementing all the HR strategies. We started in the scientific management era itself, actually. Then what happened was it was slowly coming one by one in 60s and 73s. I've taught you evolution of HRM. No, you have to revise that and you have to talk about it. And there itself we started talking about work and motion study. The name alone is different, but they started talking about this content right from the day one itself. Okay, so what happened was some pointers you have to keep in mind in that in India, if you take, you have to talk about Larsen and Tudor's potential. He started working out in competency right from the year 1975 itself. Okay, so we are studying a most important topic today, which is of much of importance in the present scenario. So what is competency? The operational definition for competency is it is going to be characteristics which is required for performing a task successfully. That is called as competency. So it is a combination of three things combined together. And then there are some other definitions. I've told you, no, when you study PG, you're supposed to give definitions referred from two or three authors. Only then you will be getting better marks. Okay, so you have to state from which you have referred also. So in 2002, Rankin has said that it is skills and behavior of people. And then Mansfield has said that it is the characteristics of an individual. Someone was telling characteristic traits. So characteristic traits are very, very important. 2002, actually, UN Industrial Development Organization was talking about a set of skills, knowledge, and attributes that allows an individual to perform successfully in his job is called as the competency. So look at this curve. Actually, what happens is something is inherited. It is not seen to others. What you inherit within yourself is the knowledge component, your attitude, and the skill which is there, which is visible to others is the behavior. What you exhibit is the behavior. Others are able to see that. Look at the line here. On the top of it, you can see the behavior of individuals. But the behavior is based on the foundation what you have got within yourself. So, what the basic underlying thing is the motives Your value system, your triads, which comes from your gene, is very, very important. So as I've told you, you should never forget knowledge, attitude, and skill. So other characteristics I've told you, the basic one which you should have. So now we understood what is competency. Characteristic traits of people is competency. But what is meant by competency mapping? To be very simple, like there is one job and there are some competencies, set of skills, knowledge needed for individual. What we are going to do is we are going to find out, or we are going to map for which particular job or which particular profession what and all competencies are needed. So we are going to map these two. That is what is called as competency mapping. It is not a simple task actually. So many authors have spoken about that, meticulously found out by different ways. So it is actually a process. How do you do mapping? It is a process of identifying the competencies required to perform successfully a given job or a role, or it can be said as a set of tasks at a given point of time. Okay, so it consists of giving small individual tasks or activities, and you are going to identify it. So examples of competencies means like technical, behavioral, managerial, conceptual knowledge, which are needed to perform the same thing successfully over days. So here in competency mapping, we are going to list out the important jobs, departments, organizations, or industries, and for that, which competency is needed. That can be done in one way. The other way is like it is a process where you individually find out and describe that for more critical jobs or situations. So for one department or one organization or one industry, what competency are needed, that you can find, or you can find for one particular job. Engineer should have this, doctor should have this. Competency profiling, it is again a process of identifying all these three and for giving a judgment for effective performance in a particular occupation or a profession. See now, what are the objectives? What objectives you set before doing this competency mapping? The first one, what you do is you do a gap analysis. Then you have some role clarity. You understand about that particular task. Then you go in for session planning, restructuring of organizations, and then inventory of competencies. I've taught you about skill inventory and HRIS. So we have set of skills needed to perform a task. Otherwise, you combine that and keep it as a repository. It is called as inventory, like how you got finished goods in the stores. Likewise, we have got skill inventory in the company. Okay, see here, what is the need for competency mapping? Actually, what are all the HR functions? You can write that. Okay, by default, you can write HR planning, recruitment and selection, performance, training and development, performance, compensation, position planning. For all these things, competency mapping is needed, and you can write it for all the functions completely. Okay, now, okay, madam, we understood now. We need to start up with the competency mapping. What is going to be the first step, second step? So we studied what is competency, then why competency is needed, when did it start? Then now we are going to find out what are the steps in competency mapping. First step, what you have to do is you have to decide the position for which you are going to come with the mapping. Supposing it is going to be an executive. So you decide for which position I'm going to do. That is the first thing. Second thing is you have to decide, or you have to look into the position, at what place that position is there in the organizational structure. You have to take the structure and you have to see, is it at the bottom level or at the middle level or at the top level? And you have to see how many subordinates, how many peers, how many superiors, who is the reporting authority, and all these things you have to see. Then you have to identify, third step is you have to identify the objectives of the function or of the department. So we know the position, we know how many people are around them. Now we have to know about the department's function, objective of that particular department. And then we have to know about the objective of the particular role. So objective of the role, objective of the department. Marketing department's objective is to achieve targets within 3 months or 6 months. Okay, for that role, he is responsible to do monthly report, weekly report, and all these things. Then what you do, you collect the key performance area. Like as we had SKA, here we have got KRA, key result area. of the position holder for the last 2 or 3 years. What is ultimately the key result area we are going to target? Then we have to look at the job description also. After this, what you do is you conduct an interview with the position holder. You have to conduct an interview, go and ask him. You have to tell these are the set of activities which you do to the company. Tell me which are the important things which you do to the company, and you have to identify 5 to 6 for this position. But we don't have any stipulated numbers. There is no hard and fast rule for that. But minimum we need to have some 5 6 qualities what this particular person has to have. After this interviewing, we repeat the process with all the positions set numbers. Then you consolidate the list which is called as the competency dictionary. After that, you see there will be some repetitions, there will be some errors. So you have to edit it and you have to finalize it. You have to go and present it to the supervisor, and then finally he will give an approval. This becomes the competency which you have mapped for the individual and for this job position. Okay, so why should you do this? When the question it affects everything in Soliachi. So when we say that it is affecting all the functions, then you have to say it is beneficial to all the functions also. So recruitment and selection, competency based recruitment and selection, competency based performance system, competency based development, compensation also can be based on the compensation. Okay, so for all these 5 important functions of HR, competency mapping is needed. So recruitment and selection, what you do, it is very easy, guys. Like you just apply your common sense. I know what knowledge is needed, how much it is needed, what skill is needed. So already someone has mapped it and given it to you. Okay. So what you're going to do now? We are just going to see whether this person is having it or not. That's all during the recruitment process. We write the job description based on the competency mapping. And then we select a person based on the test, which is going to measure the competency needed for that particular job. Okay, so it is very clear. It will be very easy for the recruiter to map a person for that particular job. Okay, for the performance system, we know what is expected from this individual and what he is doing. So we are going to find out whether he has achieved what is expected from the job. Okay, that was what I was telling you. Should be a set of skills, knowledge, and attributes needed to be successful for a job. That on the competency mapping. So we know what thing will give you success. So we will measure whether all those items he has accomplished it correctly. It becomes very simple. So many organizations, even the present project students, they are doing the very important, interesting topic. What they will do is competency mapping only. To take companies like TVS, L&T, they will specifically ask the student to develop a competency dictionary and give it to them in the project. It's not that simple as you people, what you call, interpret in the class sessions. So when you go to the corporate, they will just like that, they will give it to you and say, go and develop a competency dictionary. Then only you will go and study what is competency, what is competency dictionary. So because it is going to be useful for many levels of people. So if they will have competency for mapping for one group, but for the other group they may not have. So one of our paper recently got published, which is from TVS company. One of the PG student only, Kirtana Sri. She did competency. Such a beautiful topic it is, which is prevailing in the existing scenario. So integrating competency with the performance system becomes very easy because you are going to get the feedback, and you can even find out in which way they are lagging. Gap also you can find out, and you can send them for training. So now it is going to be useful for training also, because we know what triads are needed. So based on that, you cannot see, guys, what you should keep in mind is I cannot get all the knowledge, all the skills, and all the attitude ready reckoner. I cannot take some person, God made person, tailor made person for the job. I have to train him. Okay, I will find out what level he has got. If I expect 5 level, then he has got only 4. There are 1 or 2 gaps. So for that particular gaps, I will train this person. Okay, so that becomes easy for us to find out that something which is called as training need analysis can be done if it is going to be competency based training session. Okay, so this is going to focus not only on the actual jobs, but it is going to focus on the transfer, promotion, and other aspects also. So participants, what happens because of competency-based training? They will achieve the good performance. Okay, and then they will be successfully mastering specific skills, and they will receive a transcript or list of competencies they have achieved. Training and development for managerial category of people also, it is very important because they can analyze their own capability. Self introspection is possible by this. Compensation, again, competency based system is there. Compensation based on merit, compensation based on seniority, two things are there. So guaranteed pay alone, they will give it just like that, but for the merit based pay, they will look into the competencies, and based on that only they will be giving pay for individuals. So at different levels we have got different set of competencies needed. So the 11 qualities separated can be separated into three groups, and in the following slide we will tell you. See, this is a very beautiful slide which every one of you should understand about the competencies needed for a successful manager. Look at this last one, last different variable, it is successful manager. You need three levels of competencies. Lancaster has developed this model. Level 1 is basic things, level 2 is very critical things, and then level 3 is something very different which we call it as entrepreneurial skills. So level 1 talks about the comment of basic fact, relevant professional knowledge. But look at the other things in the level 2, continuing sensitivity to events, analytical and problem solving skills, social skills, emotional resilience, proactivity or inclination to respond purposefully for an event. All these are level 2 types of skills needed. Level 3 is creativity, mental agility, balance, learning abilities and habits, and then self knowledge, self introspection. The person who knows about himself, his strengths and weaknesses, that is called as meta qualities. So basic knowledge and information is the first level, skills and attributes the next level. Meta qualities are very important at the third level, which gives input to the successful manager. So you have to understand with all these things. For creativity means what? If he has got this type of triad, then we can say that he is creative. So you have to jot down all those things and you have to find out. Okay, and likewise assessment and feedback, as I've already told you, based on the competency mapping. See here, is an extra content which I've given you, some overdose for you. Performance management, promotion, training, and position fulfillment, position requirement. You can base everything centralized with the competency. Okay. So this is all extra content. Might be if you get a question for short answer, we need not write this much. But here, what you do is, as I've already told you, it is a process. Competency mapping is a process. It is not rigid. When it comes to process, what are you supposed to do? You have to give feedback. Sir, you already decided something as competency, but for this scenario, this may not be essential. See, when we had normal college class, what was the thing we needed from you? Attitude. You have to be in time to the class. You have to go sit there in the class, whether you like or not. Morning from 9:30 to 5:40, you have to sit. So different protocol we had then, but now it is different. So what is expected now? We were in the classroom, physical classroom. We used to see around 30 students minimum in the class. Okay, but now seeing 10 to 15 is a very big miracle for me, isn't it? We are not getting still 15. Situation has changed. Now we have to reduce it to some level. I am so flexible. I will come and take class for you at 9 p.m. also. Don't worry, no scheduling, nothing. And you have to change it. So what happens? The student as well as the faculty should be prepared to work at whatever time they want, because we are in a crisis situation. So the triad now expected has changed. You understood? This is what is meant by competence. This is what is meant by the attitude needed at this crisis situation. but we didn't have that in a normal situation. So what you should do is when we do a competency mapping, it is a continuous process where you give feedback and you keep on changing the skills needed or the attitude needed to complete a task successfully. I should be successful at the end of the day. Come what may, I have to deliver my goods. I have to teach. I have to make them understand. I have to post it and do it. That's all. So I will use whatever methodology I want, but then I will accomplish it. That is what is called as competency. Okay. So now all about the feedback, what you get. How do you get the feedback? How do you change the triads needed? How do you change the knowledge needed? Okay. So supposing if you take this is the first time we are taking Zoom class, isn't it? Like we didn't know the head or tail of it. But after doing it for quite number of days, what happened? It became hands-on exposure to us. It is available, and we never even thought of this or all this. We've been teaching for 17 years, but we didn't even think of the live classrooms, isn't it or not? Now necessity has become the mother of invention. So what happens here is like you need to get feedback, and you have to go in for the appraisal systems, and you have to redraft it. So now coming to okay, madam, I am going to a company. I wanted to do a competency dictionary for them. What should I do? Tell me first. What should I do? First thing, what you should do is you have to now bring into your mind the research methodology subject what you study. First, what I will do, I will go and study what is already written by people. Literature review. I'll go and study that and come. Then second thing, what I will do, I will take a small group of people. They are called as focus group. யாருக்கு விஷயம் தெரியுமோ அவங்கள we call them as focus group. They are the job incumbents. அவங்களோட managers. Not for that role. அவங்க person கிட்டே போய் what needed ன்னு கேட்கக்கூடாது. You are going to ask what are the expectations from the managers, supervisors, clients, and all these people. Okay, for them only he is going to work. So focus group interview. Then that will be a structured interview. I will plan very much carefully. I will benchmark it with the essentials, and then I will come out with the qualities remaining for that particular task. Then, very important thing what I will have is behavioral event interviews. Here because I have to jot down attitude. Knowledge now you can find out. Okay, there is standards for that. PG program, UG program, something which is called as knowledge you can have. But skills also, he has passed this. He knows how to drive. He knows to drive in this speed. So skills also can be measured. But when it comes to attitude, the predisposition of behavior, so you have to define it very clearly. Then we have to go for survey. Survey means you can have a questionnaire where the respondent and the collector is not going to meet. They will go and distribute it, and they will collect data on the triads needed from the individual to perform the job successfully. Observations. I'm not going to ask anyone. I am going to do it by myself. What you can do is, supposing he's a machine operator, what you should do, you can go and you can even fix up a CCTV camera, or you can watch him from morning till night, and you can jot down what and all jobs he is doing, how much of what do you call strides he is needed, how long he is standing. He should be capable of standing for 5 hours running a CNC or VMC machine, or if he's working a retail store, what and all triads he should have. He should have tried to actually you should have tried to know about the materials over there to find out the yeah, it is going to increase again. You can find out how many hours he's standing over there, and he needs to know about each and every product which is there in the company. What is the expiry date of that? What precautions are needed? All those things he needs to know. Okay, so observation is the other important method what an individual needs to have when he develops a competency dictionary by which I'm going to map it up with that particular job. Okay, so these are the materials which has been referred for using this thing. Okay, guys. So with this, I will stop with the competency mapping part of today. Tell me, guys, have you started working out with the assignments?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. See, only 3 or 4 posted. Can you please tell me what difficulty you have got? You can be very open. Don't worry at all. I will try to find out a solution here because ultimately See, I do understand that things are overpouring for you. Right from the morning till night, we have got classes. Everyone is telling assignment, quiz, test, retest, and all these things. But tell me, like, what method you could do to post it? The video runs for 40 minutes actually. The 40 minutes, whatever hand notes you are able to make, you just click it and post it to me. I don't want material which has got which doesn't have a grammatical error, or which doesn't have a spelling error, or I don't want any decorations. I don't want any what you call different colors writing. All these things I don't want. I wanted to find out the speed of people when an online class is going on, and when an online lecture series is going on, in what speed can you take notes on that? What is your understanding capability on that topic? That is what I wanted to find out. Okay, I'm not asking you to write about health safety. I'm not asking you to write about industrial relations. But when you hear from an IIT Kharagpur faculty about HR, what is that you understand? That is enough for me. You got my point, guys? So
Yes,
please
ma'am.
just sit for 40 minutes. Take what you can. It is not like you have to write paragraphs. You can write bullet points. You can write trees. In the class, you will take notes. Na? You can draw a tree and put this point, that point, that point. Important words, coin words. All these things you can write, and you can just make a click and post it. It's going to be a communication only with you and me. You got the point, guys? So need not panic too much to be very professional. And then this is not your examination. Got the point, guys? It is not your examination at all. This is not your question paper where something is expected. I wanted to find out your learning capability online with the HRM content. That's all. Okay. So please do that and submit it to me.